Hey, this is Rich here with King Rhino Records. Today, Jeremy and Ryan are going to discuss Isreal keys with Willie. Check it out.
Hello, my name is Jeremy, this is Willie, and that's Ryan. Today we're going to talk with our topic being serial killers. At least 1, 2, possibly 3, depending on how far it goes. Right? First question I would ask is, what kind of mentor did he have or idolize people he looked up to?
Now, which one are we talking about?
Keys.
Okay.
So you're talking about Isreal keys.
Yes. I wasn't ready for this.
So honestly, Israel's big mentors. He liked actually who they called the Baker Butcher from Alaska. He was actually a guy that kidnapped women and took them to a remote cabin, and then let them run and then hunted him. That was one of his biggest mentors.
So that's like Ice-T surviving game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like you know what's funny? It's like these movies don't just come out of
The blue.
This stuff happens, you guys. But yeah, he was the Baker Butcher. It's because he was actually a baker, a well-known baker in Anchorage, Alaska. But yeah, that's what he would do. And then his other one, his bigger idol, was Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, and which is weird because he doesn't have the same MO as either one of them. Totally different victims, totally different things like that. Everything was different. So those were his two real big, I guess you could say, mentors. I don't know if they actually worked together.
So it kind of tripped me out how the guy had a girlfriend and a kid from a past relationship, and everybody thought he was the nicest guy and would give them the keys to their house, if they would go on vacation to take care of stuff.
He was
very trustworthy,
known to be a pillar. Yeah.
So
he did contract work in his community,
but they didn't know that he was secretly going on vacations and killing people. So I know the FBI said, what was it, Jeremy? Was it 11, 12? They suspected. I think it's more than that. But
numbers are tough when it comes to serial killing, honestly. And they really didn't have enough time to really decipher anything from Isreal. He killed himself in prison.
Yeah, because he wanted the death penalty, and they didn't give it to him fast enough, so he...
That was a weird situation.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
He said, he goes, yeah, this guy was weird, which we got to imagine all of them are just kind of different. But this guy's going, hey, I want a speedy trial and a speedy execution. But then he turns around, in his last murder, he made a plea deal so he wouldn't get the death penalty.
Oh.
So where was he really, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's a difficult thing, because serial killers, what they'll do, man, they want to be known as a serial killer. And there's serial killers out there that have done this, but some of them will falsely claim numbers and falsely claim other victims. And it's just weird. So that stuff I kind of tread lightly on.
Right.
It's hard to really decipher, but the number was 4 convictions and 11 plus.
So how many
believed?
How many murder kits did he have buried? I mean, that was the rumor, right?
The kits?
Yes.
Well, I thought they called them cash kits.
Cash kits, yeah.
But they are murder kits, yeah.
So whatever you read about it, you're going to hear a little bit of both. But
so they were buckets? What?
They were bags and
they said Home Depot bucket.
Yeah, they were bags.
Clothes bucket?
Bags sometimes put into buckets and buried into places. And what was the question? Sorry.
Where all did they have them?
So I don't have the specific cities in all the places, but there was one in New York. They found one in New York and one in Alaska. He admitted to having one buried in Vermont 2 years before that murder.
Right.
And then he indicated that there was one in Green River, Wyoming, and Port Angeles, Washington. But they never found those two.
That's definitely premeditated murder for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think he might have been the most premeditated serial killer out there. Cause,
At least the most well prepared.
So his,
yeah, absolutely.
so they thought his first victim was possibly that, like a young girl with like amputated feet, or
Yeah, it
was
was
it?
just one that was like found hung upside down.
yeah, I don't remember. I just
So he's suspected. If we're talking about like the first actual murder he committed, that's
they think they don't know.
right. There's one that was believed to have been him earlier than 2001, and I think that might be the one.
I think they said at age 18 they were thinking
Yeah, something like
that he killed this girl.
But that's
A young girl.
pre the known 2001.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is creepy because 2001 I was in Port Angeles going to.
Holy crap.
Remember? Me and Rich were going to
Wow.
Canada
Wow.
to Victoria Island. Like little did I
I just
know
went there like a year ago.
that guy was lurking around at that time. So what his first charged victim? That was the Alaska. The one that
First
got him.
charged victim, I believe, was Vermont.
The
His
couple.
last victim was in Alaska. That
Yeah.
got him caught.
Was Vermont the couple? The
Yeah.
Betty?
Yep, and that's the one he admitted to burying the kid outside their house 2 years prior.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and he broke in through their garage window over.
Pretty crazy.
And he
These serial killers are out off this earth.
he
man.
stole their car and then he drove them to a abandoned barn, or was it a barn? Or
I
a
believe
house?
it was a barn. I'm a little foggy on those details. But
I think it was it a farmhouse, or it was because
it was out there, though.
he told them about it, and then when they went to try and find it, it had been bulldozed down and taken to the landfill.
Yeah, it was
But they had said the contractors that came out and tore it down said that the smell was so bad they wouldn't even go in it. They just tore it down. Well, why wouldn't you think to look in there for bodies?
I've never smelled a dead body like that, but I've been told like it's so distinctive that when you smell it, you're going, I don't know what else that could be. That's the way I've never smelled one. So,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
We had a killer here recently. Well, it was a few years back, I guess. It was in the 90s. What was his name? Jesse Fanis. Killing
Yeah.
a Marine, high
I
tech
had a little
Marine in the
information
area.
on him too.
Yeah.
Oh,
All this just jogged my memory.
yeah.
I used to hang out with him.
That was actually my ex-wife's half brother.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah.
But yep.
Nothing changes the
Sure as
subject.
crap. No. But that's a good one. It's sad when you keep people like
Yeah.
that. Man, it's a pillar. Fought the country.
So how did he? I forget what he did to the
think
girl
it was-
in Alaska. Was her name Amanda?
Samantha.
Samantha. Okay.
Samantha Koenig. When we're talking his last one,
Yeah,
the one that got him caught.
Yeah, what happened in that?
So he kidnapped this girl and, had his way with her. Did his thing. Then he murdered her. I believe it was by strangulation. Then the dude stuffed her in his shed in the backyard and then went on vacation for 2 weeks. went on a cruise out in the Caribbean. And when he came back, he went home and pulled her back out, dressed her up, put makeup on her, sewed her eyelids
Open, yeah, that
took
was
pictures. And this is what I was actually saying to Jeremy.
Making up burns too.
I forget exactly what it was, but he sent pictures somewhere, either email, text. I forget how, but demanding a $30,000 ransom. And the FBI was able to track that. That's
So how did he dispose of her?
So,
Because I thought
I
I thought he went up and went ice fishing.
Is it ice fishing?
Yeah, I think
He did do something like that.
he went up there, took a chainsaw, cut open the ice, and then threw her body parts down
Okay, yes.
in garbage bags with weights,
Yep.
and then he ice
That's
fished.
right.
So that when I
That's crazy.
heard about that, like I thought, was he watching a lot of Dexter? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, well,
when
it's
did Dexter come out?
it came out early 2000s. I thought.
maybe it's what inspired
Because
that.
that was
I
2012
thought
when
it
he
was-
did that.
Yeah, it would have been out.
2012.
I think it would have been out and already been through all the season. I mean, but it could have given a lot of serial killers good ideas.
Yeah.
He did a lot of, but then again, he was a forensic guy too. But still, like, to cut somebody up, put them in garbage bags and throw them to the bottom of a frozen.
I don't
That's
think
pretty messed
I
up.
don't think that's
Frozen
anything.
No.
Yeah, that's
True.
been going on. That mafia did shit like that. Man. Go back in the 20s, 30s. Matter of fact, Mead Lake down there, Boulder City, or Vegas, or Mead Lake, I think that's what it is. They started losing a lot of water, and they started finding bodies in tubs and shit.
Oh, that's Dexter stuff too.
Yep.
In barrels, yeah.
But that stuff's been going on since forever, dude. And when you want to talk serial killer in 1888, Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
That's not even as far back. They track it back to the 1500s, and this dude that used to run with Joan of Arc.
Who did they ever find out who Jack the Ripper was?
They narrowed it down to 3 people.
No.
Most likely one, the names escape me, I do apologize, but most likely one, they believe it was a Jewish immigrant. So he had some skill with surgery. Those victims were getting cut open and body parts were being removed and they were being sewed back up.
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
So somebody had
That's
to know
crazy.
doctor. Something about doctor.
Yeah, I didn't.
Surgery.
I did a lot of studying on these two guys. I thought about Jack the Ripper. I wanted to kind of go way back on that one, but Jeremy said that we both liked the Isreal Keys.
Yeah.
Because that one was just, I'd never heard of.
Recent.
Well, I'd never heard of anybody with the cash or kill kits before
Right.
setting that up.
He's kind of a different. If you're looking at the psychology of certain serial killers, and I'm not an expert on that by any means, just want to
Right.
say he was different because most serial killers, sure, it's premeditated. You know you're going to go out and look for somebody, but these guys are. It's more like I killed, I got my full feel. 3 days later, I got that itch. I'm going to go out. Go out the next night. You find him and kill him. This dude was planning it. He was setting these things up years in advance, and he was doing everything he could to not get detected. And that's why he wouldn't select a very certain kind of person,
Right.
And he would do shit like fly from Alaska to Chicago, and pay everything in cash, and rent a car in Chicago. And this is what he did with the Vermont couple. Drove
To Vermont.
to Vermont to do the deed. Did everything he did when he was done. Drive back, but no paper trail. Everything was cash, and that's what was in these kits: cash, tools to dispose of bodies, however he needed to, money, anything he needed.
I thought
That is seriously insane.
I thought he got a lot of cash too by robbing banks.
Yeah, dude, he was a
was
jack
like
of all trades.
He robbed banks.
You want to know everything he did? He was a kidnapper, an arsonist.
He burnt down churches. That's right.
He burnt down a church and he burnt down a house with that a dead couple was found in. Not couple, but a mother and daughter. I'll tell you about that in a minute. A kidnapper, a rapist, and a serial killer. Like, yeah, he's been known to have been in like 3 bank robberies, something like that. Lot of crime in this dude's life. A lot of crime.
Do you think he came from an abusive childhood? Or did it go back that far?
You know, everything I read, they don't have 100% proof, but like the police and where he grew up,
Yeah.
it was believed that there was child bullying.
I thought they were like church,
Churches
not
white supremacist.
Yeah, Christians, but white
White
supremacists. Christians.
Yeah.
And he had 10 siblings,
Holy crap.
so there was 10 of them.
There was a lot of them.
And as far as abuse, that stuff, that they don't talk about that. So
Right.
I don't-
There's not a lot
Nothing.
there, but you want to be.
You don't even
real.
hear anything about mom or dad. Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But if you want to be real, if you look at a lot of families that have white supremacists as like this big thing, fathers are very domineering. You know, because that's a tradition that's been brought for centuries, man. You know, and that was a lot of them were the huge people of the racist people that wanted slaves to keep going forward. And I don't know if I should talk like that. You know, so.
Yeah, no, I
got a lot of that useless information in my head.
It's useful now.
But it's crazy, and unfortunately, it may never end.
Yeah. It's true. As long as there's people breathing, there's going to be murders.
Oh, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, look at tobacco companies.
So another thing I heard about him.
Customers.
Oh, the tobacco companies just
Yeah.
went to food and vapes and all kinds of stuff. But another thing I heard about him was the freaking necrophiliac.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear
It's
about that.
common for a lot of them.
Yeah, but they said the FBI said the only thing that made him mad, he didn't want his daughter to know like much about what he did. But then the thing that made him got the biggest reaction out of him and actually made him mad was when they talked about him sexually assaulting male victims and necrophilia. Because I thought what he was doing was, like, with the older couple, like, her husband was there, so he had to take them both. But that wasn't it, because when he had them he had her upstairs tied up and was raping her.
And didn't he make them
And the guy was...
watch it?
Well, this is the Vermont couple. The guy, supposedly, this is what the FBI said. The guy was downstairs, tied up, and was getting free while he was up there doing that to his wife. And so he was getting free. So he had to run down to stop the guy. And he went at him, and he hit the guy, and he told him that, like, now you fucked this whole thing up. And he shot him in the face.
Oh, shit.
Because he's like, I had plans for you. Because he had plans. He was going to rape the guy, sexually assault the guy. So I thought, and then the next necrophilia, which, that doesn't surprise me. I mean,
Yeah, it is. Pretty
was that Ed Gaines or Gaines?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
It's horrible.
I couldn't even watch that on Netflix because it's too weird, dude.
There's some sickos out there.
I turned off.
There's some sickos out there.
That's true.
It's all. I mean, you got a few different kind of serial killers, and they're all just kind of some weird deranged, like power. Some of it, it's all about power control. Some of them, it's about the actual murder. Some of them, it's about what they can do with the body afterwards. Some of them, it's just the chase, and they don't care about the murder. They just want the chase, but the murder had to happen because now they're going to go to prison. Like, so many different reasons people are doing this, you know. And necrophilia is one of the big ones. You know, they'll kill the victims.
Right.
Keep going back.
So that was Isreal Keys. The next one I wanted to bring up was Robert Ben Rhoads, which, like you said, you don't know a lot about this guy, but this guy was a truck driver. And the thing with this guy is that it goes back to the 70s. So he was back in the 70s. He was on his second wife, and I guess he was really abusive, and he was into the whole chains and like tied up and the what is that stuff called, dominatrix or that type of stuff. Yeah, whips and chains and all that.
I forgot.
So she didn't like that, and anyway they split, and he ended up going and finding a job driving truck. So that was like the perfect thing for him, because then he could go long haul, because he was driving long haul, and then just pick up hitchhikers. Well, his were like a lot of the, which I think Keys was this too, a lot of the missing people, like missing kids was his.
Okay.
So he would pick up, like, I think his first victim was a 14-year-old that ran away from home.
Okay, teens.
Yeah, and she was with her 14,
Not that
15 years old, which I have a daughter that age, so this is really screwed up.
Yep.
But she was with her boyfriend, and he picked them both up hitchhiking, and the boyfriend was just a casualty, so he got rid of him pretty quick. But he was the same type of way, but he would keep them for like 2 to 4 weeks in his sleeper and tie them up and sexually assault them, and then eventually kill them after the 2 to 4 weeks, and then just go on to find the next ones. But a lot of his, I found, were actually, he could have been, were younger kids. He could have been stopped in the beginning because I think he got like a lot lizard in the beginning, which, if you don't know what a lot lizard is, you know lot lizard?
A lot lizard is a prostitute that sleeps with people that drive truck.
Yeah, okay,
They walk
so
on truck stops.
he got one of them in the beginning, and when he got her, she got away somehow and went to the police, and they brought him out in a lineup, or no, I don't even think they brought him out in a lineup. I think they found him and brought him, and as soon as she saw him, she was like, this was the 70s, she put her head down, wouldn't look at him, and said no, it wasn't him. And then when they took him, let him go or whatever, and took her back, she was like, it was him, but I was too scared to say anything. But they couldn't do anything, so she could have kind of, I thought that was messed up, because she could have stopped it before it began. But the only way they caught him was in Arizona. He had his truck pulled over and he had his hazards on.
Yeah.
And the cop was like, there's no triangles or anything out for this semi with hazards on. And so he went up and he had his flashlight, got up on the driver's side, put his flashlight in the window, and saw the girl chained up in the sleeper.
Oh, shit.
And she was screaming. And then he popped up, and that's when the cop was like, all right, like,
Get out.
You're under arrest.
Yep.
But every time he was about to get out for something, they found and put together and took him to another state and tried him for another murder.
Oh, damn.
Every time. He ended up he never got out. He did life.
Yeah, he did. He was convicted in Illinois, Texas.
Was he?
Man, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Three
Texas.
states.
I think he killed in all 3 states. And like, his dad was him again. Didn't teach that bastard a lesson.
He was, with his dad was in the World War II. His dad his dad was in the service, and when he would come back, he would beat the fuck out of him and mom. And drink.
And that was another common thing.
Right.
You know, a lot of people come out from the military. They're effed up, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know? And they, I mean, you know what that reminds me of? You know who Richard Ramirez?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
night stalker. Yeah.
So, dude, he grew up in a very, very abusive home, neglectful home. So he went and lived with his uncle, and his uncle was a Vietnam vet. And what his uncle would do was tell Richard Ramirez about his murders and serial killings he would do in Vietnam. So his uncle was telling him about these murders he committed in Vietnam amongst, you know, hookers and other, not war killings, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because he can, right? And then like 2 months after he heard some of these stories, he watched him shoot his wife in the head and kill him, and then helped him like try to cover it up. And then he went out and did his own, started doing his own.
Yeah, I have no clue about
But
that.
that's another common thing, you know, back in the war days, or the old days in those wars. Yeah, there was a lot of crime happening.
A lot.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, the U.S. could go over and do whatever the hell they wanted.
Yep.
And they're not going to get persecuted. Our government wasn't going to persecute us.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it was all. There was a reason behind everything anyway. It was bullshit reasons. We shouldn't even have been doing anything that we did in the past, honestly. Like, a lot of it was for drug control.
Just for
Control
the
of
1%ers up there.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, you know. But it's not really, because I feel like they created that to make people think that everything's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
And everything's tinfoil hat. You really want to go tinfoil hat, you got to listen to some of the other stuff, which doesn't even, like, you'll think at first, and then I'll listen to some of this stuff, and then I'll be like, well, I don't know, like the hollow moon theory. There's some weird
I
stuff.
don't know much about it. I've heard it.
Yeah, it's a hollow moon, alien base, the moon.
I heard a little
That
bit.
was a little far fetched.
Yeah,
you know.
a little bit.
I mean,
Is that why we never get to go to the backside of the moon? Because it's a base. So, I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't spin. It's always tidal locked to where you see just one side of it, no matter where you're at in the world. It never turns.
we should probably not get off topic though, because that's a whole.
Yeah, I know.
That's a whole other can of worms, dude. Because
I didn't
they
bring
did,
it up.
they did, they did find that like the more they slammed into it, it's the opposite of the Earth. It was actually hollow.
Okay.
Like it would reverberate in instead of. Yeah, but anyway. So, yeah, I didn't know that about the Night Stalker. What else you got?
We were talking about my favorite's always been Green River. When
Yeah.
did you get into the serial killer thing?
I've always, but I mean, I've always been like tripped out by it. Like, I mean, I messed up. Like, but fascinated, like how they get away with killing so many people. But a lot of my friends would flick me crap about my middle name being Wayne. Gacy, yeah. Like, serial killers, middle name Wayne. You're going to be a serial killer. No, I'm not a serial killer. But, no, I don't know. I remember that, like, as a kid, younger, like the Green River Killer. I was kind of surprised Jeremy didn't pick that one.
Normal.
I almost picked that one.
No guy. It's crazy. Kill for some.
Because that was Portland?
Seattle.
Was it? Okay.
So
So,
a lot of us were Ted Bundy also. I mean, but Ted Bundy it's like Oregon, Idaho, California, Colorado, and he got caught in Florida. So that's Ted Bundy.
That's West Range.
Yeah. Well, he was running from the law. He escaped from prison twice.
How many did he have confirmed kills?
So convicted was 20.
Holy shit.
But he was suspected and believed to have been part of 49. I believe that's the number 49. But he claims over 100. You never know.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. Especially since, like really, Ted Bundy only operated from 71 to 74. You know, and to think, but if you think of the Seattle area, how many fucking prostitutes, and even though Ted Bundy really went for student, but he had killed prostitutes, but how many of them were coming up missing in those years? You know, when did Gary Leon Ridgway start? Because he, you know, his first victims were thought to be 81, which is well after Bundy. So,
Why are
so many of them?
Why are so many come out of Washington?
I don't know. We could talk about Louisiana.
No, I always felt like, I don't know, a lot of people I feel like a lot of serial killers, there are quite a few that come out of Washington, but then I've met people from Washington that there are a lot of them are odd people. Are you from Washington?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Just double check it.
No. My mind was.
I'm talking shit here about people from Washington. No,
I
I
got
should.
a lot of family up there, but
Right. No, and I shouldn't. It's not anything against people.
no, I wouldn't take it out.
Because I actually, last time I was in Seattle looked way better than Portland. Way better. I don't know what. It was September before last. I was Seahawks, Dolphins. I watched the Seahawks slaughter my team. But, yeah.
Slaughtered my
Oh, dude. Those fans, I watched them run Dolphin fans out of there in like the second quarter. Like, they left and never came back. They were trying to come after me, but...
You can get me off topic on football.
Right, yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah. But anyway, Seattle was really clean. Like, it wasn't like there weren't a bunch of homeless on the streets, and it looked, I mean, as far as the motel, a car next to mine got broke into and all their stuff got stolen, so I'm kind of lucky I didn't get my car hit. But
Yeah, no kidding.
you know, aside from that, it looked a lot cleaner than Portland. Like they'd actually cleaned it up. So, but I don't know. I've met some weird characters out of Washington.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. They just seemed really off to me. I'm not really friends with those people anymore because they kind of came off on a weird way. And one of them I might even suspect of possibly have killed somebody, but I don't know, because there's a lot of people that tell a lot of tall tales, and you'd wonder why somebody would want to make something like that up. But
Yeah, right.
people make stuff up.
Yep. People do it. And a lot of
So,
people
sure.
are dumbasses and run their mouths about the things they really did.
Right.
And that's what blows my mind.
Right.
I get somebody who wants to fit in and be like, oh yeah, I did that, and
Right.
going, holy crap, I didn't, dude. You know, but somebody like, man, they did it. Why do you want to run around and tell somebody?
Right.
Like,
So you get
you
caught.
Yeah, you get caught.
Yeah. Crazy. But I'd like to bring up one guy, very local person. His name's Randall Woodfield.
It's local to here.
Yeah. Well, not he's not from right here. He killed up and down I-5.
Oh,
He's
that's
the
right.
I-5 killer.
Yeah.
the I-5 car.
That's the name of our first
Randall
selection.
Woodfield. Interesting guy. He was a big football guy, man. He actually got drafted by the Packers back in, I think it was like 74, 77 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he got kicked out of the Packers organization because he was a weird sexual guy.
Yeah, that'll get you kicked out.
So he gets kicked out. Well, he started running up and down I-5, committing robberies and rapes and murders and stuff like that. All up and down.
Was he a truck driver or no?
No. He'd run around like I want to say a bug, but that was Ted Bundy ran around in the Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Jetta or something like that. I'm not going to try to remember what he's driving, but he would impersonate a cop, have a badge, and have lights and pull people over.
Oh, wow.
He'd kill them, and he would just randomly, pull up to somebody on the side of the road and kill them. But what I wanted to really talk about with this guy is he didn't murder, but he committed crimes right here in Southern. And if I remember right, it was an evening. Because I read the I-5 Killer book. And years ago, I was reading many serial killers way before we worked together at Pizza Hut. You know?
Right.
It's crazy. But anyways, he came here, that store right next to McDonald's. It's now the Center Market. No,
Oh,
is it a Center Market?
Yeah, it's
now?
Center Market now.
Yeah, that's taking over everything. But,
Yeah, they're all up in Portland, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I saw them. Yeah.
But so he went in there and robbed the place and shot the cashier. And that night, my aunt was working.
Oh wow.
My aunt was working during that, and I remember reading this book, you know, and I'd already passed it, but my aunt had seen the book, and she's since passed. But she's seen the book. She goes, "I-5 Killer, are you into those things?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like reading the books. It's fascination for me." And she was like, "He committed crimes here in Sutherland." And I was like, "Yeah, I already read that." And she said, "Yeah, my coworker was shot the night we were working." And I was like, that was you, but names were changed in the book. Like,
right, yeah.
you know, no names. So, like, that just blew my mind. And then she just kind of proceeded to tell me the story, and it was the exact story that was in the book.
So she was there. Was she in the back or something?
Yeah, she was back in the cooler area, and she heard bang, bang, bang. And
Alright.
he'd robbed it. He'd shot the girl. She didn't die. Didn't succumb to her injuries. He'd robbed and shot her. She was back in the freezer part.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. I would have never guessed in a million years. You know?
Didn't we get robbed at Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
We got robbed.
Yeah,
didn't.
Didn't I
I
take the
forgot
blame?
about that.
No, you took the blame for frickin' Noah stealing money, which
Oh,
you
slap.
didn't take the blame because we all said it wasn't you.
I was naive and stupid and signed this paper because she
Oh.
was firing me over it, and I was like flipping out.
Right.
Didn't read it and went.
Yeah.
And yeah, it all.
I had no idea that all these guys, like, friends of mine, were all strung out on opiates.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
I
didn't
kinda
know,
did, but I
like,
know what it looks.
Now it's like, I'm counting how many at that time were all, because all I was doing was, I was a functioning alcoholic at that
Right.
time,
Right.
which now I'm clean 5 years in June, so everybody thinking that I was drinking a beer on the first podcast, that was non-alcoholic 0.0.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I got a lot of messages about that.
Yeah, I watched most of it, and I was like, was he drinking a Corona? I was like, no.
Yeah, I was non-alcoholic.
Yeah, it's not my
That's
business.
what they call near beer.
Well, every once in a while I like the flavor or the taste, yeah.
I like to
Flavor.
taste it too, but I can't.
But I don't miss any of the drunkenness. But yeah, we got robbed. I thought we got robbed twice, and I thought Olivia was working both times.
Yeah.
We got robbed.
I remember at least once when she got robbed. That's right.
That's crazy.
But it was. I don't think it was any I-5 killer.
Yeah,
No, they would have
No.
been dead.
no.
Yeah.
That had already happened. That was the 80s.
Yeah, they would have taken her back.
Right.
Because she was one that had contact.
Well, I should say I don't think it was a serial killer. Period.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy, man. And he's one of the most notorious Oregon serial killers. So we had the Happy Face killer, Keith Jefferson.
And see, that's my fascination is because I'm like a huge horror fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is the part of me that's like, because that fits right into the horror genre, the serial killers. And so I'm like, because I've heard of that one too. I've heard of so many, but it's almost like they all just kind of get squished together and like who's who, what one's what?
Yeah, it gets a little hard to compartmentalize.
It's like these routes that I drive around here. They all get shoved together.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can easily, if it's not something that you're like on top of all the time, you can easily mix stats and
Yeah.
Right.
crap like that easily, dude. I've been studying this serial murder stuff since I was like 13, 12.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I started reading stuff about him way back then.
They scared the shit out of me back then.
I don't know, it was a fascination. I actually had this, I must have been 13, but I had this grand idea. I was going to become the most known serial killer on this planet, man. And once I realized, like, oh man, the reality is most of them are caught within certain time frames. Yeah. There's plenty that go years and years and decades. There's I'm sure some that have never been caught.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Per se, Zodiac Killer, Jack the Ripper. They pretty much think they know who it was, but you can't confirm it anymore, man.
Right.
And there's so many of them that will never get brought to justice.
So they thought Keys too. There was a hiker that went missing up in Washington that this one lady was talking about that fit because it was like, I think, an hour or something away from work. He actually lived.
Oh, so
And the body of water, which the one lake is like 700 feet deep, so they're like, well, we can't really send a dive team down there or do anything to check for bodies, So
I think they could.
Well, you think now with the technology and stuff? I don't know, but
I guess back then, we're talking about 2012.
Right, true.
Okay, yeah, it's only been 14 years. 14 years is a lot.
Right.
Especially technology.
Yeah. Which you think now they could send drones
underwater?
Yeah, like down to the bottom, like in search for bodies to see. Because his MO, like one of his major MOs was dumping in lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then burying them somewhere. I guess, maybe. So, you got anything else, Jeremy? Are we going to wrap this up?
I'd say we got a pretty good one going. Let's wrap it up.
Right on. Thank you, Willie. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming out and doing this. And
absolutely. Thanks, guys.
That's all we got for today. Episode 3 of King Rhino Records podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.